Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I noticed, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, yesterday, Abner, in an effort to get some advice on his current marital problem, wrote a letter to a love advice column. However, Cedric used the letter for his English composition and read it to his class. As we look on in the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot-'em-Down store and library talking on the telephone. Listen.
Uh-huh. Well, how mad is Elizabeth at me, Papa? Oh, I figured today being her birthday, she might be back in a good humor. Huh? Well, I know it's all over town, but it ain't my fault. It weren't no such a thing as Cedric Weehunt's fault. Well, I never told him to take that letter to school and read it in front of his class. I was going to send it into the love advice column. Well, maybe I oughtn't to have did it, but it's done did now. Yeah, well, listen, Papa, every chance you get to say something nice about me around Elizabeth, well, you do it. Well, there ought to be something nice you can think of to say about me. Well, try to think of something then, Papa. Yeah, all right.
Morning, Abner.
Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, morning, Lum.
That wasn't Miss Emmeline you was talking to, was it?
Who?
Miss Emmeline. That's Miss Platt, the school teacher.
Oh, no, that weren't her.
She ain't called me for any time this morning, has she?
No, she ain't called.
You're sure she ain't?
Yeah, I'm sure, Lum. I've been right here all morning. Only phone calls has come in. There's been folks calling up to say how sorry they are about this trouble twixt me and my woman, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I reckon everybody in town knows about that by now.
Oh, yeah, it's all over town.
Abner, I want to ask you a question. I want you to give me a straightforward answer to. Right straight from the shoulder blade.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
Do you think Miss Emmeline admires me?
Admires you?
Yeah, give me your honest opinions now.
Well,
I want the truth.
Well, Lum, I ain't talked to her much. Special not lately, anyway.
Well, has she ever said anything to you about me? Has she ever brung up my name? This is important.
Well, Lummy, I don't know, Lum. I got too many worries of my own to bother with anything like that right now.
You know, Abner, I can't figure out where I stand with her.
Where you stand?
Yeah, Miss Emmeline treats me nice and polite, and she talks friendly to me, and always thanks me for carrying her school books home for her at night, but...
Do you do that, carry her books?
Well, it seems like it ain't no more than right that I do that, being president of the school board and all.
Oh.
Them books are awful heavy, you know.
Oh,
got
bound
that
to
big
be.
dictionary in there and that big geography.
Wonder it don't kill her.
Yeah, it ain't nothing for a frail little flower like her to be toting all by herself.
Frail little flower?
Yeah.
You don't look so frail to me.
Oh, she is, though. Tender as a daffodil.
Uh-oh. I figured this was going to happen sooner or later.
What was going to happen?
Well, you falling in love with her and all that.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I just wish I could find some good way to make a good impression on her, though. Show her just what a fine feller I actually am.
Yeah, well, Lum, I'm going to give you some good advice straight from the shoulder blades, too.
Advice?
Yes, sir. Don't marry no female woman. Look what's happened to me. Trouble in the home. That's all I've got out of it. Fact is, I ain't even got a home no more. Just trouble's all I got left out of this deal.
Well, I'd run my home a little different than the way you run yours, though, Abner. See,
yeah, that shows right there you don't know nothing about it, Lum. It's the woman that runs a home, not you. I found that out. She runs a home and you both, and fact is she'll run you out of the home if you don't do to suit her.
Yeah, well, you have your ideas on it, and I'll have mine. Oh, by the way, here's a batch of mail for you.
For me?
Yeah, there's quite a few letters there for you. Just now picked them up at the post office.
Brother land sakes. Reckon who can be writing to me now?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself. Better open them up and see.
Yeah. More than likely some of Elizabeth's relays tell me how they hate and despise me or something. what a beast I am and how awful I treat Elizabeth and all that brother of hers down in Texas.
I was noticing the postmarks there, Abner. I seen they's all local letters.
Local?
You don't owe folks around town here a lot of money, do you?
Well, not that I know of. Let's see here. This one says, Mr. Abner Peabody, Esquire. Huh. Wonder who that is. Pine Ridge, Arkansas. Dear Anxious.
Dear Anxious.
Yeah, where'd they get that? Is this for me?
Yeah, ain't that the way you signed that letter you wrote to that Love Advice column yesterday?
No. Dog,
signed it Anxious.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what it says here. Dear Anxious.
That must be from that Love Advice column.
Well, it couldn't be, Lum. I never sent that letter in. After Cedric taking a copy of it over to the school to read in class, sir, I was so mad I forgot to send mine in.
Well, who's it from, then? Who signed it at the bottom there?
Oh, let's see. Don't get such scribbling. Can't put like a bunch of hand tracks. Oh, Lucy Blevins.
Lucy Blevins?
That's what it says.
Well, she's just a little kid of a girl.
Huh?
I know she's just in the fourth reader.
Fourth reader?
Yeah.
Doggies, wait just a minute. That's the class that Cedric's in. She must have heard him read my letter in school yesterday.
Well, I'll swan to goodness. What's she got to say to you then?
Well, I can't imagine. Let's see here. Dear Anxious, in regard to your domestic problem, I ain't got no problem on that. I'm having trouble in the home with my woman. That's what I've got.
Well, that's what domestic means.
No, domestic. Domestic problem. I think you have handled the situation all wrong. Oh, she does she?
Go on. This is interesting. I want to hear the rest of that.
Mama says Mama says, I hate that Flory, too. Mommy says you have got what is coming to you. But I will give you some advice that you should know.
Go on, read some more. I want to hear it.
I advise you to throw yourself at your wife's feet, throw myself, and say, oh, forgive me, please do.
What was that, throw yourself at her feet?
Now, dog it, I know I ain't gonna do that. The way that Elizabeth feels now, she'd kick me in the face while I was down there on my knees. I wouldn't do that for $1,000.
Go ahead. What else does the letter say?
I ain't gonna read no more of it, that little smarty letter.
Oh, go on.
I ain't gonna have that little varmint telling me what to do, Lum.
Abner, you oughtn't to call a little girl a varmint. That ain't nice.
Well, she's a little girl varmint, then.
Go on, finish the letter.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna read some other mail here. Just wait till that little Lucy Blevins comes in this store to buy some candy. I'll fix that young'un up.
That's one of the best things I've ever heard of. A little 9-year-old young'un giving you advice.
Well, for the land's sakes.
What's the matter?
Well, this one starts out the same way. Dear Anxious.
You mean from another scholar in the fourth reader?
Let's see who signed this. Oh, Verbena Saxon.
Yeah, she's in Cedric's class, Verbini.
Oh, my goodness. Is every scholar in there writing me letters to give me advice?
I don't know. It's the best thing I've heard in a long time. Them young'uns ain't but about 9-year-old.
Lum, this ain't no laughing matter. I've never been so humilified in my whole life.
Well, what does little Verbini have to say then?
I ain't gonna read it. I don't know.
Well, why not? She might have some good advice for you there.
Well, if she has, I don't want to know what it is. And you stop making fun of me too long later.
I ain't making fun
you
of you.
done it. You're giggling. I can tell.
I just want to know what Verbini has to say, so go on, read it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Well, here, I'll read it then.
Go ahead if you want to. I ain't gonna listen to it, though. I can tell you that right now. Them little critters. Their mamas ought to tan their jackets. Give them some hickory tea. That's what they need.
Dear Anxious, from your letter, it is plain to see that you need help.
I do not.
You are like too many modern men. You have fell into the bad habit of not being romantical enough.
Prattle.
To win and hold the love of a woman, you must treat her like a queen.
Queen?
Go back to the days when knighthood was in flowers.
That's a good place for it, too.
To make a good impression on your lady fair, be like Lochinvar.
Like who?
Lochinvar, whoever that is.
I don't know him. I can't be like somebody I don't... He live at Cherry Hill?
I don't know where he lives.
Well, I don't either. Can't be like him then.
Ride up to your house On a prancing snow-white charger, sweep your beloved up in your arms and ride away in the sunset. Granny, that sounds pretty good, don't it?
Now, right came up and shoot again. Right up on a what?
A charger, it says. I think that's a kind of a horse, I think.
Of all the silly, idiotic huskin' shuckins I ever heard, that beats it all.
I wonder if that would make a good impress.
Me to ride up on a horse and bulldog Elizabeth and try to carry her off? I just as lief grab hold of a wildcat as to do that. She'd kill you.
Riding up there on a snow-white charger, sweeping her up. Granny, I wonder.
Just wait till I get hold of that little Burbini. Thinks she's so smart. I'll beat that young'un to death.
I better read what else she has to say here. Get all the details.
Well, you'll have to get 'em by yourself, 'cause I ain't gonna stay here and listen to another word of that prattle-prattle. I'm going over to, well, I don't know where I'm going, but I ain't staying here, I know that.
Well, wait a minute. What's the ring over there at, oh, never mind. I know what it is.
What's whose ring?
Never mind. I've got it.
Yeah, well, I'll see you later, Lum. So long.
Yeah, so long, Abner. Granny, I wonder if this will work. Oh, hello. Is this the liver stable? This is Lum Edders. Oh, just only tall, but how's yourself, Harry? Oh. Say, Harry, have you got a horse over there a feller could rent? Yeah, something sort of gentle that I could ride and carry a woman in one arm. Yeah, well, what I had in mind was a prancing snow-white charger.
Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I know this, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, so far, Abner's efforts to patch things up between him and his wife have served only to widen the breach. The letter he intended to send to a love advice column got into the hands of school children, and they all wrote him letters of advice. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot-'em-Down store and library. Abner is just entering. Listen.
Come in. Oh, howdy, Abner. You back already?
Yeah, I'm back. And after this now, Lum, you got to make a deliver. Everywhere I go, the young'uns is making fun of me. They call me Mr. Anxious.
Mr. Anxious?
Yes, sir, and I'm getting sick and tired of it, too.
Oh, well, you oughtn't to have wrote that letter to the advice column and signed your name that way. Or leastways, you oughtn't to let Cedric read it to the whole school.
Well, I was just trying to figure out some way to patch things up twixt me and my woman, Elizabeth.
Well, there's better ways than that to do it.
I wished I knowed what they was. No, 'cause I'm getting so lonesome for my place over there, I just can't hardly stand it. I'd give anything to just sit there on the front gallery and watch Elizabeth out there chopping wood or plowing or something. I'm just so lonesome to see her, Lum, I can't hardly stand it.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about your problem this morning, Abner.
I've sat there, if I had a busting headache, I'd sit out there and watch her.
You'd do it, too.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've come to the conclusion that the thing for you to do is just make Elizabeth jealous.
Jealous of me?
Yes, sir. I bound you that'll get her and you back together again quicker than any one thing a body can study up.
Oh, no. That wouldn't work no good in my case, Lum.
Well,
no.
you'd be surprised how good that'll work.
No.
You take a woman and she'll get riled up at her man, give him a good jawing, and lock him out like Elizabeth done you and everything else. But if they think some other woman's trying to take him away from her, why, they'll fight nail and tooth to hold on to him.
Well, ordinary they might, but I still say in my case, Lum, that just won't work.
Oh, yes, it would. I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I doubt it.
No woman wants to lose her man, unregardless of what kind of a fellow he is.
She's run me off, though, Lum.
Well, it works even if he's a no-good, no-count, worthless, lazy, ignorant, ornery, good-for-nothing, low-down varmint of a man. It'll even work for you, Abner.
Well, that's awful nice of you to say that, Lum.
Well, I mean it. I mean every word of it.
Well, what you oblige. But How could I ever make Elizabeth jealous of me?
Why, that's easy. Downright easy. Just be sore with some other woman.
Oh, well, I don't much believe I know how to do that, Lum. I couldn't think of nothing to say to no woman.
Oh, well, don't worry. I can tell you all that stuff.
You can tell me.
Why, sure.
Well, you can't even think of nothing to tell yourself to say when you're with Miss Emmeline.
Oh, well, I think of plenty of things to
Stand
say.
there and twist and squirm like a feller's being pestered by a wasp every time you're around her. Your ears get red and
I don't
twist
know
your
such
feet.
a thing.
You do, Dunn.
There's times when I've talked to her a couple of hours hand running.
Maybe
I've
so.
done it.
I doubt it. But I couldn't think of nothing, no. And I wouldn't know who to be sore with, no way.
Well, that ain't such a hard problem. I can think of lots of women folks.
Who?
Well, there's Sister Simpson, for instance.
Sister Simpson? Now just stop right there, Lum. I ain't gonna be sore with Sister Simpson nowhere, for no reason, at no time, no how.
All right. She ain't the only one.
I'd rather suicide myself than be sore with that woman. I'm a laughing stocks enough as it is, Lum. All them young'uns call me Mr. Anxious. I don't want to be.
All right. I said it didn't have to be Sister Simpson.
Yeah, well, I'll say it don't have to, too.
Yeah.
I'll amen you.
It could be, Widow Abernathy.
Witter! Dogies, Lum, I thought you was my friend.
Well, I am. I'm trying to help you.
You mention that woman's name around here one more time now, Lum, and I'll dissolve partnerships with you right here and now.
Well, I ain't suggesting that you marry the Widow Abernathy. I just said to be sore with her long enough to make Elizabeth jealous.
Well, that wouldn't make Elizabeth jealous. Make her think I was touched in the head. She'd think I was behind the door when the brains was passed out. Have me locked up in a padded cell. That's what she'd do.
All right. If you don't like the Widow Abernathy, let me think now.
Well, think better than that.
Or to be somebody.
You might as well just stop thinking, Lum, 'cause I know this idea ain't gonna work.
Of course, there's the Widow Jessup.
Widow Jessup? Dogies, Lum, can't you think of nobody pleasant? Don't you feel good today?
Figured you wouldn't like her.
Oh, no.
I reckon Elizabeth wouldn't get jealous if you saw with her no way.
No.
It ought to be somebody that ain't a bad looker.
Yeah, I can't think of nobody like that around here. Less than maybe it might be Miss Emmeline over at the schoolhouse.
Miss Emily. Now, wait a minute.
Well,
Hold
she
on
ain't
here.
a bad looker now, Lum.
I know she ain't.
You said that yourself. I've heard it.
I know I have, but I don't believe she's the one for you to be sore with, because, well, I just don't think so, that's all.
Dogies, wait a minute. Are you jealous of me, Lum?
I ain't no such a thing.
Dogies, maybe this idea of yours is better than I thought it was, Lum. It'll make Elizabeth jealous as quick as it did you. Well, I'm as good as back home right now. What's that ring over at the schoolhouse, Lum?
Abner, you ain't calling Miss Emmeline up now.
Well, this is all your idea now.
Not this part of it ain't.
Well, I just figured maybe I might call her up and see if I could go over and tote her books home for her after school like you do. And, well, naturally, we'll have to walk right by my place, so Elizabeth be bound to see us.
Abner, I've changed my mind. Doesn't change
No,
my mind.
I don't mind doing it, Lum. I'll be glad to.
No, I think we got to get a whole new idea for you.
Yeah, well, I'm just beginning to like this other now.
Well, it's too late. It's no good.
Oh, no, that's a good idea.
No, I think what you better do is just buy some woman here in town an expensive present of some kind.
Expensive
Yeah,
present.
something gold with diamonds in it, sort of.
Huh?
And then we'll let Sister Simpson find out about it, and then she'll go and blab it to Elizabeth, and that'll do the trick.
Well, no, me, Lum, I can't afford to buy no expensive present for nobody.
Well, you want to get your woman back again, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to go too high, Lum. Facts is, I ain't got but about, $18 or $19, and that's got to last me for a couple of months, you know.
Well, you could buy a present out of that. You can get along some way or other.
No, I just can't afford to do it, Lum. That's all there to it. No, I can't afford to do
Well,
it.
if you just take $4 or $5 of it, and... Swan to goodness.
Huh?
Who's that coming up out there with Grandpappy Spears?
Where?
It's some woman I ain't never saw before.
Oh.
I wonder if that's some relay to his'n.
Doggett, I don't know. I never have saw her neither. If that's a relay to old Grandpaps, he sure got a good-looking relay, I'll say that for him.
Wait a minute, Abner. Maybe there's your chance.
Huh?
Maybe there's somebody you can be sore with.
Well, I thought you said that idea was out.
Well, it's back in again now.
Oh,
You ask her if she'll walk past your house with you once.
Oh, now, Lum, I ain't going to do
You've got
that.
to do it, Abner.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. I'm too bashful.
Find out. Here they come. Well, howdy do, Grandpap. Come on in.
I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, howdy, Lum. Here's a visitor in town I want to introduce to you fellers. Lum, shake hands with Miss Stanwyck. Is that right, miss?
Oh, almost. Stanwyck.
Well, pleased to meet up with you, Miss Stanwyck.
Thank you.
And here's my partner, junior partner, Abner Peabody.
Yeah, howdy do.
How do you do?
Abner's got a question he wants to ask you, miss.
I have not done it.
Yes,
now,
you
Lum.
have, Abner.
I ain't. No.
Wait a minute. Don't start fussing now. Miss Stanwyck says she's got some important business to do here in Pine Ridge. Oh, excuse us, miss. Just what is your business?
Well, right now I guess you'd say I'm a salesman.
Salesman, huh? Lady drummer. What do you know about that? What's this pigeon-toed world coming to, anyway? What pigeon-toed thing are you selling, miss?
Well, Mr. Spears, I'm selling the best pigeon-toed thing you can buy. War bonds.
War bonds?
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for somebody who can help me get in touch with all the people in your town.
Well, grannies, you've come to the right place, miss. Abner, get on the phone there and ring the fire alarm.
Yeah, sure.
Fire alarm?
Yeah, you see, you can just talk to everybody in town over the party line that way. They'll all be listening in. Grannies, miss, you ain't related to that moving picture star, Barbara Stanwyck, are you? You sure look like her.
Well, maybe it's because that's who I am.
Huh?
But not a moving picture star. I'm a salesman appearing on behalf of the United States Treasury Department.
Hey, Lum, I believe most everybody's picked up their receivers now and are listening in. I've been hearing them click all up and down the line.
Well, good. Here, give me the receiver. Howdy, folks. They ain't no far, but we got something extra special for you. Miss Barbara say something to you, and I want everybody to listen. All right, go ahead, Miss Stanley.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. What I want to talk to you about is $5 million. That's the quota set for you individual investors in the 6th War Loan Drive. If $5 billion sounds like a lot of money to you, let's measure it in terms of the sacrifices our boys are making on the battlefields every day, every minute. Measure it in terms of the heartaches of the families who have given not dollars, but the lives of their sons. Measure it by the many, many days of hardships and suffering that must still be experienced by our boys before this treacherous conflict can be ended. And then measure it in terms of the victory to be won, the world of freedom. Now, $5 billion's not so much, nor is that extra $100 war bond you must buy to reach that goal. We still have a long way to go to win this war. Our boys aren't letting down, and you can't afford to let down either. Buy that extra bond today. Thank you.
Grannies, Miss Stanwyck, you sure done good. There's some of the best out loud talking I ever heard.
Yeah, man.
And before you go, Abner's got something he wants to ask you.
Oh, yes, Mom, I do.
Well, that's the way to talk, Abner.
What is it, Abner?
Well, I've got $19. Can I buy a war bond from you?
Why, sure.
Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I don't as long, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, all of Abner's efforts to effect a reconciliation between him and his wife have met with failure, and the old fellow doesn't know what policy to pursue next. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library discussing the situation as they take inventory. Listen.
19... 20. 21 cans of string beans, large.
21 cans of string beans, large. Check.
Let's see here now.
Yes, sir, that's exactly what happened, Lum. I just stood around in front of my place there, trying to make up my mind whether I ought to go in or not, and finally Papa come out and said that Elizabeth had told him to tell me not to hang around there no more.
Yeah, you told me that. 12, 13, 13 cans of string beans small.
13 cans of string beans small.
Check.
Check. Well, she ain't got no right to tell me that, has she, Lum?
Well, I don't know what the law is. It's still 1 can of pineapple.
1 can of pineapple.
Check.
Check.
Granny's, we're might not out of that.
Of course, my place. I mean to get back there, too. That Elizabeth, she can't keep me out of there.
Of course you can. 2 cans of peaches, sliced.
2 cans of peaches, sliced.
Check.
Check.
Might not out of them, too.
I've just got to get back there. Just can't hardly stand it to be away from her.
Yeah, I sort of think you've been using the wrong approach, Abner.
Huh?
4 cans of peaches, whole halves.
4 cans of peaches, whole half.
Check.
Check. Wrong approach.
Yeah. Instead of you crawling back there, you got to do something to make her come to you.
Like what, for instance?
20 boxes of salt.
Well, that ain't gonna make her come to me, Lum. She can get all the salt she wants. It's pepper she's having a hard time getting. That won't work.
Well, I never meant that. The 20 boxes of salt is part of the increase.
Oh. I know you can take some salt and catch a bird by throwing
Just
it.
write that down, Abner. 20 boxes.
Oh, yeah. 20 boxes of salt.
Check.
Check. Well, what is something that'll get Elizabeth to come back to me?
Oh, there's different things. I ain't sure just which is the best in you.
Well, just name off some of them. That's what I want to know.
Well, I was just thinking maybe you could go on some kind of a
Not work?
step of a flagpole strike or something like that.
Sitting on top of a flagpole.
Yeah. Then you tell Elizabeth you won't come down from there till she asks you to come back home.
Oh, Lord, that won't do no good, Lum. She just let me sit up there the rest of my life. I couldn't climb that flagpole down the street there no ways, Lum. Even if I could get up there ain't no place to sit down. Well, except that short point there for decoration on top of it. That's the worst one-eyed you ever studied up yet, Lum.
Well, I don't say it has to be exactly that. I
No,
just
not that.
giving you that for an example of what I had in mind.
Well, if that's an example, I don't believe I want to hear what else is in that little mind of yours, Lum.
Another thing you might do is get up on top of the lodge hall roof and act like you're going to jump.
Jump where? Clean down to the ground?
Well, sure.
Well, Lord me, Lum, that's a 2-story building.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Huh?
Natural, Elizabeth ain't going to let you do a thing like that.
Well, it ain't gonna do no good for her to try to...
Well, you don't get the idea, Abner. You ain't actually going to jump.
I ain't.
No.
Well, that's the best news I've heard in 2 weeks.
You see, you just get up there and tell everybody that you're going to jump lest Elizabeth. So natural, Elizabeth will come rushing out there and no matter
I've done
around.
this worked out of coming in there and go back.
Well, no. But start swinging your arms like you're going to leap off of there.
No. That's
Oh,
out.
she'll be hollering up there begging you not to jump. Do
Yeah.
anything you want.
She ain't gonna be hollering up there begging me not to jump, 'cause I ain't gonna be up there long. Gonna get up there and start swinging my arms on top of no roof. I get to swing them too far and they'd carry me right along with them. No, that idea's out right there before I started.
Well, I was just trying to help you, Abner's all.
Well, try to help me with some ideas where I can stay down on the ground long. You know what high places does to me.
All right, you don't need to do that then.
I even get dizzy when I lick a airmail stamp.
Well, we can think of something else.
Oh, yeah, thanks fast before I get started on that. That's what I want. That's what I want to do right there. That's
So
the
she'll
idea.
beg you to come home.
Yeah, but I don't want her to go jumping. Jumping's out right
Yes, we might chain you up to something.
now. Chain me up to something.
Yeah.
I don't bite.
I know,
I ain't gonna bite her. I want her to live half it off.
No.
Oh, well, I ain't. You can tell her that right now.
No, I read about a young fella that done something like that one time.
Did his woman?
No. They chained him up. Himself to a radiator. Yeah. Tied himself right to it. Said he's going to stay there till his girl will agree to marry him.
Well, I'm done married, Lum. I don't want a new woman. I just want to get the one I got back again.
Well, I mean, this chaining up business might work for that, too.
I don't know. I don't like the sound of that chaining up stuff. Special on no radio.
Radiators.
You mean one of them you listen to? Huh? I don't want to have nothing to do with no
They
check.
have them in the hotel.
Stove?
They had one in the depot there to get.
That idea's out, too. You ain't gonna chain me to no stove. The whole thing, no.
Let's see. You're a hard man.
Well, Lum, can't you, like sitting around eating ice cream and cake all day and all night till Elizabeth tells me I'm home. That's a good idea.
No, that wouldn't work.
I believe I could, though. Just sit down there at Ed Beckley's drawer all day. Sit up there at the counter on one of them I might chain myself to the stool and sit there and just eat one dish of ice cream after another. The best idea, chocolate's ice. Well, I could break it up with the ice cream in the heart.
Yes, sir, I think I've got it, pal.
Just hope all this for me.
Mr. Abner, you're going on a hunger strike.
Fix me a big banana split.
Right now, you eat a single meal. Elizabeth says, Abner, come home.
Well, wait a minute. Without eating meals, I'll starve to death. That's a habit with me. I won't eat every day.
Well, natural. That's why you're doing it.
Huh?
See, you've got to think something drastic, so she won't be doing that.
Well, ain't the ice cream idea sort of drastic? Gonna take a lot of money, and for me, that's drastic.
Yeah, but it ain't drastic enough.
Oh.
You ain't in no danger that-a-way.
I ain't, huh?
Oh, I suppose a feller could to death that-a-way, but can do it a heap quicker by starving yourself.
Well,
Oh, you can.
I believe I'd be willing to take a little longer time at it and try that ice cream idea.
No, that ain't no good. From now on, no more meals for you.
Well, Lum, that's going to be awful hard on a feller of my type.
Your type.
You're the type that's to eat. There must be some other idea, Lum.
Oh, there's lots of other. Listen's best, Abner. This'll make a strong impress on a woman like Liz. She knows how you enjoy. That'll prove to her right there how much you think of her and how anxious you are to be back with her again. Tell 'em right.
Doggies, going without meal at all to me. I don't know where I could do that or not.
Well, if you make up your mind to it, you do it.
Make up my mind, my stomach.
The thing to do is start right. Elizabeth hears about it, and that'll start her to worrying about you right off the bat.
Well,
Supper tonight, too.
oh, my goodness.
And no meals tomorrow or the next day or the next or as far along as it takes to change Elizabeth's mind.
Well, I would like to wait till I'll get a better start in the morning, I believe.
No, if you don't start now, you never will. Here, think of it like this. If you had your druthers, which would you rather have? A big supper or have Elizabeth back?
Why, that's sort of a hard question, as hungry as I am now.
Well, if you stick to this hunger strike, why, you'll get both. Now, how about it? Will you do it?
Well, all right.
That's the way to talk. Now you'll get summers fast. You just watch and see.
Well, I hope so. Now that I'm in this hunger strike, well, I reckon I better make a phone call here.
Well, wait a minute. Don't call up Elizabeth. Let her find this out some other way. It'll have more effect on her.
I ain't calling her. She won't speak to me no way. Who I'm calling is Luke Spears down there. Hello? Is this the lunchroom? This is Abner Peabody. Oh, tolerably. Say, Luke, would you have some sandwiches this afternoon? Yeah, Mom. But if I'm going to go without my meals, I gotta have something to munch on between times.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going down in Pine Ridge. Lum's newest plan to reunite Elizabeth and Abner is to place Abner on a hunger strike until his wife gives in and asks him to return home. This is the second day of the hunger strike, and as we look in on the little community today, we find Lum having a fairly difficult time keeping Abner in line with this new plan. Listen.
Abner, get away from that cracker barrel.
Well, Lum.
Hurry up now. Put that cracker back. Here, let me look in your hand.
I ain't got nothing in there.
Put that right back in there.
Which hand?
The other. Let's see. Open it up. Open up them fingers.
Oh, Lum, no, don't do that. Oh, Doggy, you might not. All right, you done broke
Now,
that
look at
cracker all the pizzas anyway. I can't
Dust
eat
it off on the floor there.
Well, I'm hungry, Lum.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to be. How many times do I have to remind you that you're on a hunger strike?
I know I am, but I don't see how one little cracker's going to make no difference. Elizabeth won't never know it. She's the one I'm doing this for, not me.
No, she won't know it, that's true, but it's the principle of the thing. One little tiny bite of a cracker and you've broke the hunger strike.
Well, I believe that'd be a good thing to break.
Now listen, Abner. You've got a good start on this thing now, and you don't want to spoil it. This is your second day, and I believe if you can hold out 4 or 5 more days...
4 or 5 more?
Yeah. Well, then I think Elizabeth will change her mind and beg you to give this up and come back home.
If I have to go on starving for 5 more days, I won't be able to go home.
Oh, you can stick it out if you just set your head to it.
Lum, I'm hungry.
Oh, Ab, stop saying that. You just make it worse by concentrating on being hungry.
Well, that's what I am. Hungry. Hungree. Hungry. That's what I am. I ain't ate nothing for 2 days.
I know you ain't, but try to get your mind on something other subject. Use the power of mind over matters.
Well,
think of some other subject to talk about, like trees and flowers, birds. Have you saw that bird Charlie Redfield bought the other day?
I had out of it.
It's a parrot. Its name's Polly.
Polly?
Yeah.
Lum, I want a cracker.
Abner, I've told you 1,000 or 100 times you can't have no crackers.
Well, I'm hungry.
Well, now listen. If you keep munching on junk all the time, you ain't never going to get that starved look to you.
Good for me.
And then Elizabeth ain't never going to feel sorrowful for you.
She won't, huh?
Well, of course not. You got to have sunk cheekbones. You have to look holler-faced and gant.
I don't know about my face, but my stomach is sure holler. Just look there. How much too big my pants are for me. Look at that.
Good, all right, but it ain't good enough yet. You got to get to where you look terrible and feel terrible and everything else. Sort of faint, scrawny.
Ain't there some other way you can go on a hungry strike without not eating?
No, it's the only way you can do it.
That's silly. I'll think up a new one here.
Now, get your mind on something else, Abner. Think about the store business or something. Maybe you better get out and make the delivers.
Make the delivers?
Yeah, the fresh air will do you good. Help you work up a good appetite.
I know that's going too far. Here I am starving to death, and you want me to tote some great big old heavy groceries all over town.
Oh, you ain't that weak. Not yet, anyways.
You ain't got a whip you want to use on me, have you?
Well, now, don't be sarcastic, Abner. I ain't being mean to you. I'm just trying to help you get back to your happy home again.
Well,
you asked me to get you back in your house.
I know it, Lum, but I can't tote them baskets of groceries. There just ain't no 2 ways about it. I'll fall right flat on my face.
Well, that's good.
Huh?
Try to fall over near your place so Elizabeth can see you.
Oh, man.
That'll work on her sympathy, sure enough.
Dogged, I don't know why I ever let you talk me into this hungry strike in the first place. There ain't nothing about it that I like. Look how I'm shaking here, Lum, just like a dog on a wet sack. Look at that.
Wait, wasn't that our ring? You keep jabbering there, I can't hear nothing.
Oh, no, I'm so hungry I can't hear nothing either. Oh, there it goes again.
Yeah, that's it, all right. Might be Elizabeth right now, starting to get worried about you.
She ain't half as worried about me as I am, I'll tell you that.
Hello, got him down store and library. Lum Edwards talking.
Starving to death.
Oh, how are you, Ezzy?
Varmint coming over here, I'll bite him.
Well, good. How's that? Oh, is that going to be Saturday night? Well, I'd like to, Ezzy, but I'm feared I'm just going to be too busy. Abner might do it, though.
I might do what?
Yeah,
Mom?
he'd be glad to serve on a committee. I know he would.
Mom, I ain't got the strength to serve on nothing.
Yeah, all right, that'll be fine, Ezzy. You betcha. Goodbye.
What you got me into now, Lum?
Oh, you'll enjoy this. The annual initiation of new members is being held over at the Lodge Hall Saturday night, and Ezzy wants you to serve on committee.
He does, huh?
He's the Grand High Purple Horned Eagle this year.
I know he is.
Worked up from just a plain lavender eagle this month.
I know. But he ain't gonna get me to serve on no committee Saturday night, 'cause I ain't gonna live that long.
Oh, you will, too.
I wish
Pretty
they wasn't
sure you
having that initiation right now, 'cause it always takes out of the lodge treasury. They won't even have enough money left to buy me a wreath.
Oh, it's silly, Evan.
They won't.
They could make a special assessment for that.
Well, that'd be nice.
But you ain't gonna die, so just get that idea out of your head. The reason I suggested you for a committee was because I thought it'd give you something else to think about.
Well, what committee am I going to be on? Having the lodge robes clean? I'm generally on that committee.
No, I don't know what it is. Ezra said he'd let you know that later.
And it better not be too much later. I'll never find out. I'll be laying there on the floor starved to death. Right in the middle of a grocery store, too. That's going to hurt our business, Lum, me laying around here dead, you know.
Abner, will you stop talking that way?
Well, it will.
First thing you know, you're going to get yourself to think, wait a minute, there comes Cedric. You can talk to him. That line off of eating for a while.
I ain't sure I want to get my mind
Oh,
off
what
of
a
it.
halfway beauty day.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
Oh, pretty good. I'm all out of breath. I school hopped all the way over here.
Well, come on in. What you got in the box there, Cedric?
Oh, just my lunch.
Huh?
Oh, just my lunch. Do you fellers mind if I eat my lunch here today?
Why, no. Sit right down here, Cedric, old boy. I might even join you. What all you got?
Abner, get out of that lunchbox.
Well, Lum, I was just sort of peeking in there.
You're on a hunger strike. How many times do I have to tell you that?
Oh, Dad, blame that thing anyway.
Oh, what did you say you was on, Mr. Abner?
A hungry strike, Cedric. I ain't supposed to eat nothing till Elizabeth takes me back again. Or I starve to death, one.
Oh, I bet you get awful hungry doing that.
Get hungry? My stomach's flapping up again my backbone right now. Thinks I've cut my throat. Might nigh knocking my spinal vertigos right out of joint.
Well, Cedric, how come you ain't eating your lunch over at the schoolhouse like the other scholars do?
Well, I don't get hardly nothing to eat over there, that's the reason. Leastways not enough for a boy my size.
Well, you take your own lunch, don't you?
Yes, Mom, but me and my little chums over there got a sort of a system where we sort of trade things around, sort of.
Trade things around?
Yes, Mom. We trade a sandwich for an apple or a sweet potato for a boiled egg or something. And every day when I get done trading around with my little chums, I don't have nothing left, hardly.
You don't?
No, Mom. I don't know how it happens, but that's the way it always works out. I reckon I'm just unlucky.
Yeah, well, you better eat your lunch here then, Cedric. You'll starve to death over there.
Yeah, that ain't a good thing to do, I'm finding out, too, Cedric. That's starving to death. You get hungry doing that.
See what I got today.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sakes. I never knowed Mama put these pieces of fried chicken in here.
Did you say fried chicken, Cedric?
Yes, Mama. Mama sure knows how to fix that stuff good, too.
Doggies, look at that grub.
Just look at that, Mr. Abner.
Cedric, don't hold that up in front of me. You're going to draw back a nub there. I'll snap your arm off.
Boy, it sure tastes good. See, that's the best fried chicken I ever ate in my whole life, nearly.
Cedric, would you please hash up?
Yeah, kind of be careful what you say about eating around Abner, Cedric.
Fact is, you better go on back over to the schoolhouse, Cedric. I believe it'd be safer for you to take a chance with your little chums than to stick around here.
Well, this won't take me long. When I'm this hungry, I like to eat fast.
Oh, you've been hoarding, that's what you're
Here,
doing.
Mr. Abner, will you hold a box for me while I peel a sweet potato?
Oh, sure, I'd love to.
No, wait a minute now. Give me that box. It ain't safe for you to hold it, Abner.
Doggies, you better get Cedric out of here then, Lum. He's just torturing me to death. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Cedric, you better go back to the room and eat your or Abner can't see you.
Eat room's a good place to eat anyway, Cedric.
Yes, Mom.
Doggies, it's the worst one day I ever spent in my whole life.
Oh, dropped a hard-boiled egg. Well, what do you
I'll get it, Cedric.
Abner, get your hands off of that egg. I'll pick it up.
Oh, Dad, blame it anyway.
I got to watch you every minute. Here you are, Cedric. Now get on back to the feed room there.
Yes, Mom.
Just wait till this hungry strike's over. I'll eat this whole town clean out of grub in one day.
There you
That's
go
what I'll
again,
do.
Abner. That's all you think about. I told you it'd be a heap easier if you just get your mind on some other subject.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. See, what else can I think about?
Well, you might think about the international situation. Wait a minute, there's our ring again. If that's a grocery order, it'll help you to get out and put that order up for 'em.
Well, I hope they order a couple of boxes of crackers. That's what I hope.
Hello, jot 'em down, store and library. Oh, he's right here.
Spend the rest of my life.
Here, Abner. Ezra decided.
Good.
Here, take the receipt.
Yeah, thank you. Hello. Yeah, Ezra, this is Abner. Head of what committees? Oh,
What's the matter, Abner? You're turning pale.
you know what committee I'm on, Lum?
No.
Food and refreshments. I've got to barbecue a hog and then make sandwiches out of it to serve to that bunch of fat glutens over there at the lodge hall.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I told his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Abner is going in third day of his hunger strike, and Lum is hopeful that this plan will soon force Abner's wife, Elizabeth, to ask him to come back home. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Abner is just entering. Listen.
Hi, Granny's, where you been, Abner? You ain't been eating, have you?
No, I ain't been eating, but I'm going to start pretty quick now. Just look at this card here, Lum.
Card?
Just look at that. Read what it says on there, right
Well,
there.
wait a minute. Don't rush me. You got it jammed right up against my glasses
Oh,
here.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Bound you this will change your mind about that hungry strike of mine.
It shows a picture of a girl here. What's that got to do with your hungry strike?
Huh?
Says here her name is Alice Faye, and underneath that it says Drexel Williams.
Well, read the other side. That's what I want you to see there.
Granny, there's a nice-looking girl, you know it.
Yeah, turn the card over, Lum.
She's downright pretty.
Over on this side, right back there.
Oh,
Look there now.
says, you possess a highly sensitive and artistic nature. And,
Don't read that. Read them figures right underneath there.
132 pounds.
That's it, right there.
That's what?
I got that card out of the weighing machine down there at Ed Beckley's drugstore just now, and that's all I weigh is 132 pounds.
What do you generally weigh?
Well, around 139 or 140. That means I've lost around 8 or 9 pounds since I went on this hungry strike.
Grannies, have you lost that much, 8 or 9 pounds?
There's a card right there to prove it. I'm so weak I couldn't hardly climb up on the scales there to get weighed.
Let me look at you one. Stand out there where I can get a good look at you.
All right, you'll have to look awful close, though. You can't see me, I'll tell you that.
Grannies, I believe you do look pretty bad.
I know I do. Just look at my waist there. Got a big dent where my stomach ought to be. Look at there.
Yeah, you ain't holding yourself in there, are you?
I ain't got enough strength to hold nothing.
Grannies, how long you been on this hunger strike now?
This is the third day of it. Doggy, it's the last day of it, too. I'm going out right now and get myself something to eat.
Well, now, wait a minute, Abner.
Lum, I've got to eat. Now, I can't keep this up no longer. A couple of more days and I'll be nothing but skin and bones. Mostly bones. Some dog sees me, he'll more likely carry me out on a vacant lot and bury me.
Well, I'll admit you don't look so good, Abner, but I don't believe we ought to give up now.
Well, maybe you ain't going to, but I know one feller it is, and that's me, Abner Peabody.
Yeah, but Abner, we've done so good this far, it'd be a shame to quit now and spoil everything.
What do you mean, done so good? Look at me, Lum. Wasted away to about half a shatter.
Well, that's what I mean. We finally got you to where you actually look like you're on a hunger strike. Only trouble is, I'm feared we went a little too far with it.
Yeah, I'll say we have, way yonder too far.
I'll tell you what, if you stick it out just a little while longer, I'll see to it that you get something to eat.
You will?
Yeah, along about tomorrow night you can have a small bowl of soup.
Small bowl of soup?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night?
Uh-huh. Promise.
Doggy, I'll tell you one thing, you'll have to get somebody else to eat it then, 'cause I won't be here. I'll be up there somewhere plunking on a harp.
Oh, that's plumb silly, Abner.
Wish they'd hand out guitars instead of harps. I can sort of chord a little on a guitar, but I know good and well I'll never be able to catch on to one of them harps.
Now, don't give me no more of that silly talk, Abner. I'll keep you alive somehow. Don't worry about that.
Well, you better feed me something more than a little old bowl of soup then. You better do it right now, too. I'm starving plumb to death
Well, we
now.
went this far with the idea now, so the only thing to do is keep on just a little tiny while longer.
Oh, me.
I know we've got Elizabeth good and worried by now, and it won't take much more to get her to take you back.
How do you know we got her word?
Well, she's bound to be worried by now.
Well, I ain't sure she even knows about this hungry strike of mine.
Oh, she knows about it, all right.
She does, huh?
Yeah, I mentioned it to Miss Barton the other day when she's in the store. You know, the first thing she'll do is go right to Elizabeth and tell her the whole thing.
Yeah, she'll do that all right, yeah.
Of course she would.
Yeah, maybe we ought to call up Elizabeth and give her a chance to ask me to come back home, Lum.
Oh, no, that ain't the way to do it.
It ain't, huh?
No, we gotta wait around till she comes to you. That's the whole idea of this plan.
Oh. Well, while we're waiting around, let's have some cheese and crackers, Aunt Lum.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I am kind of hungry. Or no. Abner, you gotta cut that out now.
But, Lum, look at me. I've never been this skinny in my whole life. Just take a look at me here.
I know you ain't, but you ever expect to get... Granny, wait a minute. Look out yonder.
Where?
Now ask me if we've got Elizabeth worried or not.
What are you talking about?
Just look over across the street there. Who do you see standing there?
Over there in front of Dick Huddleston's place?
Yeah.
Well, for the land sakes, that's Elizabeth.
Well, sure it is.
Who's that she's talking? Oh, Sister Simpson. Yeah.
That ought to prove to you that this idea of mine's going to work.
You reckon she's going to come over here and ask me to come back home now?
Oh, no, not yet. But we sure got her worried, I know that.
Well,
it's a working, Abner. I know this was a good idea.
How long do I have to wait before she asks me to come home?
Well, I don't know exactly. See, she's just dying to ask you right now, but she won't do it because she's a woman. See, when a woman takes a stand on something, then she finds out she's wrong, why, it takes her a little while to bring herself around to where she'll admit it.
Oh. Well, reckon what she's doing standing over there talking to Sister Simpson for then?
Well, she's just hanging around trying to get a look at you, more than likely.
Oh.
See how bad you actually look by now.
Well.
Now, Granny, wait a minute. That's what you better do. Yeah.
Do what?
Go out in front of the store and let her get a good look at you. The way you look now will sure enough raise up her sympathy.
You believe it will sure enough,
Oh,
huh?
I know so.
It will, huh?
Oh, you just step out in front there where she can get a good look at you once. Now, bound you inside of a half hour, she'll call up here wanting to talk to you.
Oh,
begging you to come home.
You sure enough believe she will?
Oh, sure.
Doggy, let me get out there then. You sure I look bad enough now, Lon?
Oh, yeah, you look terrible.
I oughtn't to starve for another minute or two, huh?
You're the scrawniest looking one human I ever set eyes on. I can't hardly stand to look at you.
Well, good for me.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to be partners with such a looking feller.
Dogging hooray for me. I'm proud to hear it. Proud to hear it.
So you get out there now and let Elizabeth see you in this condition.
Yeah.
Be sure and let her get a good profile of you so she can see how you've complete lost that nice round stomach you used to have.
You reckon I'd better go over there where her and Sister Simpson are standing and get close to them?
No, she can see you all right if you just step out in front of the store.
My condition will show up that far away, huh?
Oh, yeah, because you look like a different person altogether.
Well, maybe she won't even know me. Think I'm somebody else or something, Lon.
Oh, no, she'll recognize you all right. Hurry up and get out there before she leaves.
Yeah, all right. Wait a minute. Here comes Grandpap up out there. Dad, blame it all anyway.
Don't make no difference. You still go out there. Act like you're sort of picking up papers or something like that. Cleaning things up out there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get out there right now. Yeah, howdy, Grandpa.
Yeah, howdy, Abner. You going, Summers?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, howdy, Grandpap. Come on in. Just in time to see the climax of a successful hunger strike.
How's that, Mom?
Just watch out in front there, Grandpap. Watch Abner work on Elizabeth's sympathies. Well, what in the pigeon-toed world is that spavined-legged idiot doing anyways? Sauntering backwards and forwards out there like he's lost. What's he looking for? He's letting Elizabeth get a good look at how terrible and skinny he looks. So she'll feel sorrowful for him and forgive him and all that stuff. Oh, that hunger strike thing he's on, you mean? Yeah. And it's sure working good, too, if I do say so myself. See, I studied this whole thing up for him. And I'll say one thing, you sure got him scrawny looking. He ain't got no stomach left at all. I know he ain't. All right, Granny, just look at Elizabeth over across the street there. Is she ever staring at Abner? Them two are as good as back together in their old home right now. Yeah, they ought to be, too. No sense of them being apart this way. It's a pity. Of course it is. Now, Granny, look. Elizabeth can't stand it no more. She's walking away. There's a good sign if I ever seen one. What's she going in Dick Huddleston's store for? That's Sister Simpson going in there. Elizabeth went out the other way. See her? Oh, yeah, I see her. Going towards home.
You reckon I done any good, Lum? She turned around and left.
I know you done some good, Abner. Elizabeth was staring at you something wonderful.
She was, huh?
Oh, yeah. That is, till she couldn't stand to look at you no more.
I know, well, I hope it's going to help. You reckon she started over home to cook me up a big batch of victuals for supper?
I don't know.
I just got to get back to eating now. That's just all there to it. I'm just starving. Was that our ring?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
You reckon that's Elizabeth called me up already, Lum?
No, it couldn't be. She's still walking up the road, John.
Oh, yeah, well, she can't call from the road. I know
I'll
that.
see who it is.
Or on the phone. She can stand there and holler, but she can't call on the telephone.
Hello? Jot 'em down, store and library. Lum Edder's doing the talking.
I don't think she can. I never have tried.
That Miss Simpson?
Oh,
It's Sister Simpson.
Sister
She's just talking to Liz.
Oh, good.
What's she step? Why? Elizabeth said what? Well, don't she know that he's been on a hunger strike and he... Hello? Hello? Oh. She hung up.
Well, what did Elizabeth say to her, Lum? Hurry up, tell her. What did Elizabeth say?
She said for the first time in your life you've got a decent-looking figure. And trouble of it is, she thinks you've reduced just to spruce yourself up for some other woman, and now she's done with you forever, she said.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Abner's hunger strike came to a sudden end yesterday when it was discovered that his wife, Elizabeth, thought he was merely reducing to make himself attractive to other women. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library talking on the telephone. Listen.
Well, I'll get this order out to you quick as I can, Miss Blavin. You see, Abner ain't back from lunch yet. Well, yeah, it is early for lunch today, but this is yesterday's lunch he ain't back from yet. Oh, yeah, he's give up that hunger strike. No, it never worked out very good. Yes, Mom. Well, I'll see that you get your groceries today, all right. All right, Miss Blavin.
Good morning.
Much obliged. Goodbye. Oh, howdy, Squire.
Say, Lum, I don't like to tell on Abner, but I think he's violating his hunger strike. As I passed Luke Spear's restaurant just now, I noticed him in there doing a pretty good job of eating.
Oh, well, I know Dad. Fact says he's been there since yesterday.
He has?
Oh, yeah. Minute we decide to give up his hunger strike, he taken out for the lunchroom, and he's been there ever since.
Well, I do know.
He even slept there last night so as he could get a good early start this morning.
Well, he's going to founder himself if he's not careful, You know Abner overdoes everything.
Well, I call him up every once in a while and tell him that, but don't make no difference. He just keeps ordering food and eating it.
Well,
I know he's running up a terrible bill down there by now.
Well, I should think he would, yes.
If he eats much more, Luke's going to have to roll him out here. He'll never be able to walk, I know that.
Well, why did he discontinue the hunger strike, Lum? It was going on pretty good, wasn't it?
Well, I thought so, but I found out I was wrong.
Well,
see, yesterday, Elizabeth was standing across the street talking to Sister Simpson, so I had Abner go out in front of the store where she could get a good look at him and see how scrawny and skinny he'd got.
Yes, well, he did look bad. I saw him yesterday morning myself, Lum, and didn't hardly recognize him.
Yeah, he's lost an awful lot of weight. But the trouble was, it had the wrong effect on Elizabeth.
Wrong effect?
Yeah. She thought Abner looked better than he ever did before because he'd got shut of that stomach of his.
Well.
And she figured that he was just reducing on a purpose and sprucing up for some other woman.
By George, if that don't beat all. Well, that's a woman for you, Lum. That's a woman.
Yeah, you're right there. That's a woman for you, all right. Just Can't depend on 'em at all. That's the whole trouble with 'em.
Yes, well, I think part of the fault lies with you, too, Lum.
With me?
Yes, you see, Lum, you've been a bachelor too long. I'm afraid you don't understand all the whims and peculiar twists and turns of the female mind.
Well, I'll admit there's times when I can't understand the way a woman's mind works, all right.
No, well, it's an interesting subject, Lum, and I confess that even I get baffled now and then. But I do feel that in all my years of matrimonial bliss, I have picked up a few more pointers than most men, and I can see that your hunger strike plan was at fault to begin with.
It was, huh?
Yes, you see, Lum, it was, a sort of a trick or scheme to force Elizabeth to take Abner back into his happy home. And that's one thing you can't do. You can't force a woman into anything.
Well, we sure never got nowhere with that idea of mine, I know that.
No, the approach was all wrong.
Well, what would you say was the right approach, Squire?
Well, sir...
What pointers does all them years of matrimonial bliss give you on that?
Well, Lum, that's a rather hard question, and of course I don't guarantee results. But I do have a theory.
Well, good.
And my theory is this. Women get married for one of three reasons. 1/2 or 1% of them marry for love.
Gracious, is that all?
Yes, I know that's disappointing to a man like you, Lum, a romanticist, but it's high time we were being realistic about these things.
Granny's only 1/2 of 1%.
Yes, 29.5% marry for money and property.
I wonder which class Miss Emily's in.
And the other 70%, now get this, Lum, the other 70% marry a man solely to reform him.
To reform him?
That's the only reason in the world. Women are born reformers. And there's just no way to get around it.
Are you sure about this, Squire?
Oh, I'm positive of it, Lum. Now, what's the first thing a woman does when she gets married? She starts finding fault with her husband and starts trying to change him. Can't hardly wait to change him into a different person.
Grannies, I hate to hear you say these things, Squire.
Well, it's high time that you were facing the facts, then, Lum.
They just want to reform a man, huh?
That's their whole life. That's all they live for, just to reform some man. You take a man that's practically perfect, he hasn't got a chance in the world of having some woman marry him.
Wonder if that's been my trouble, just too dead blame perfect.
Now, what's that?
I ought to watch that.
Then, on the other hand, you take some worthless, good-for-nothing scam, he'll have 1,000 women after him, solely because they want to reform him.
1,000 women, huh?
Yes, and the worst is, Lum, why, the more women want to get hold of him and start reforming him. And if he ever makes the mistake of getting completely reformed, why, then his wife loses interest in him right then and there.
And you've made quite a study of this, ain't you, Squire?
Oh, yes, I have, Lum. I've gone into the subject quite thoroughly. And I think out of this that we can find a solution that will patch up Abner's,
trouble in the home.
Yes, trouble in the home, yes.
Well, I don't know. I don't much believe Elizabeth's got Abner reformed to where she ain't interested in him no more. I wouldn't say he's perfect by no means.
Well, no, I wouldn't either, Lum. But the point is this. We've got to have Abner act in some way that will reawaken the reforming instinct in Elizabeth.
We do, huh?
Yes, so that'll mean that, we'll have to make Abner over into sort of,
bum.
Yes, a bum. A worthless, no-good fellow who is fast going to the dogs, I'd say.
I hate to see that happen to Abner. Never would have thought it of him.
Well, Lum, we won't actually have him be that. He'll just appear that way in public. See, after all we want to do is make Elizabeth feel that Abner needs her. That she must straighten him out. In other words, that she must feel that she must reform him.
Well, now that you explain this, Squire, I believe you've got a pretty good idea.
There's no doubt about it, Lum, no doubt about it.
Are you sure it'll work with Elizabeth, though?
Oh, I know it will. I remember a case up in Missouri. A young couple by the name of Bainbridge, I believe it was. Yeah.
Illinois.
Bainbridge, that was the name. I lived there in the town of Joplin, Missouri. 2-story house there on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
They were married for, I don't know, must have been married 15 or 16 years, well as I recollect, Lum. All that time, Mr. Bainbridge had the habit of playing cards for pretty high stakes, and he generally lost.
There comes Abner out there.
Oh.
I'm anxious to explain this new idea to him.
Oh, yes.
Look at that stomach on him. Reared over backwards there, don't even do the balance, he said.
He's been eating, you can tell there's no doubt about it, Mom, yeah.
Like a stuffed puppy.
Yeah.
Doubt if he can get in that door.
Oh, man. Am I full? Oh, howdy, Squire.
Come on in here,
Abner.
you no-good bum. I got something to tell you.
Oh, what did you call me, Lum?
Well, that's what you're going to be in this new plan me and Squire studied up for you.
Lum, after that hungry strike, I ain't interested in no new plans of no kind. All I want to do is just lay down and rest. Togies, I ate too much, I believe.
You oughtn't have made such a gluten out of yourself. You've been eating steady since yesterday.
Yeah, I know it. Feel like I swallowed a basketball. Somebody's inside there pumping it up.
For pity's sake.
Togies, let me sit down here. Oh.
Yeah, sit down while I explain this idea to you.
I have that. There ain't no two ways about it. I have stored food away.
Squire here claims that all women are reformers at heart, so we're going to make a no-count, worthless varmint out of you, and then Elizabeth will want to take you back and reform you.
I ain't never going to eat another mouthful of nothing as long as I live.
Abner, are you listening to me?
Yeah, I heard you, Lum, but I ain't going to do it. I'm through with them plans of yours, Lum. I've tried my last one. I'm done with them.
This idea is Squire's, and it's a good one, too.
Yes, it is, Abner.
Yeah, we're going to have you run around town with your hair not combed, your breeches not ironed. Oh, you're going to be a mess.
Yes, be lazy and unresponsible, Abner. Stay out late at night.
Yeah, stay up till 9, 10 o'clock every night.
10 o'clock? You know I can't stay awake that late at night, Lum.
Well, you'll have to get some sleep in the daytime, then.
Yes, you can do that, Abner.
Wait a minute, there's the idea right there. Every afternoon you can sleep on that bench out in front of the drugstore where everybody can see you.
Oh, I ain't going to do it, Lum. I ain't going to get out there in my nightshirt in broad daylight. Besides, somebody's liable to set on me. Whether Abernathy comes along and says, I'll get crushed to death.
No, you won't. Now, listen, Abner, you want to get shut of your trouble in the home. All right, then. Wait a minute, there's the phone. Now, I know who that is, too.
Who?
It's Miss Blevins, and she's wondering where that grocery order of hers is.
Oh.
Abner, you better get it on over there for her right away.
Me?
Well, sure, you.
Well, I can't do a thing like that, and you know it, Lum.
Well, why can't you?
'Cause I'm lazy. No count. No good. I'm a worthless bum. Besides, I got to get down to that bench there and get some sleep so that I can get out and prowl tonight.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know this, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, after Lum's plans to persuade Elizabeth to take Abner back had failed, Squire Skimp stepped in with a suggestion that Abner pretend that he has lost all ambition and has become a tramp, and thus induce Elizabeth to take him back and reform him. As we look in on the little community today, we find Squire Skimp, the Jot-'em-Down store, discussing the plan with Lum. Listen.
Well, Squire, I still say I hate to see Abner going around town looking that way. Them ragged clothes and all. I feel downright sorrowful for the poor little fella.
Yes, well, I don't think I'd worry too much about that, Lum. Abner's not suffering any, I don't think.
Well, no, but it's humiliating to him, and that's the worst one kind of suffering there is, being humilified.
Yes, well, perhaps Abner won't have to go around posing as a bum very long, Lum. I'm sure the reforming instinct has been aroused in Elizabeth already. Won't be long now before she'll be taking him back in order to straighten him out again.
I hope so. I hate to see him have to go through a thing like this.
Yes, well, I know for a fact that people are starting to talk about Abner already. Tongues are starting to wag, and that's a good sign, Lum.
I know that's happening, and I don't like to see it neither. Fact is, I've had a couple of phone calls here this morning. Women calling up wanting to know what's happened to Abner and why I don't do something about him.
Yeah, well, I see there. That's the woman's eternal desire to reform a man exerting itself right there, Lum.
Well, you're more than likely right.
Oh, yes.
I reckon this idea will work, but I hope it won't take too long. That's all I wish.
Well, don't worry. It won't, Lum. I'm sure of that.
And another thing, I'm getting tired of having to do so much work around here. I have to make all the delivers myself and everything else.
Well, naturally, Lum, we can't let people see Abner doing any work.
I never thought about that part of it. I never would have agreed to this in the first place.
Well, as long as he's supposed to be lazy and worthless, Lum, why, he can't work.
Yeah. Of course, he could do a little work around the store when nobody's in here, though.
Well, doesn't he help any at all?
No, he won't do a lick of work around here.
Well, that might be better, Ted. Maybe it's better, Lum.
Maybe it's better, but it's getting me wore right down to a frazzle. I know that.
Well, of course, you have to look at it this way, Lum. You're doing this to help a friend in need, you know.
Well, don't get me wrong, Squire. I'm more than willing to help Abner any way I can. I want to see him and Elizabeth get united back together again the worst way.
That's true, Lum. Have faith in this plan a little while longer now, and I know that the results will more than compensate for the tortures and humiliations.
Excuse me, Squire, that was our ring there, I believe.
Oh, yes, go ahead, answer, Lum. I should be getting back to office anyway.
Just a minute, Squire.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Jot 'em Down Store and Library. Lum Eddard's talking. Oh, howdy, Miss Goshen. What can we do for you today? Mom? Yeah, I know about Abner. Well, now, wait, Miss Goshen. You can't talk about him that way.
Let her go ahead and talk, Lum.
Well, I ain't to blame. Why, ain't no such a thing. Well, now, listen, Miss Goshen. In the first place, Abner ain't actual no tramp. And in the second
wait
place...
just a minute, Lum. You better let me talk to her. I believe I can straighten this out for you.
I wish you would, Squire.
Yes.
I can't seem to do it. Just a minute, Miss Goshen. Squire Skimp wants to talk to you. Here you are, Squire.
Yes, thank you, Lum. Hello, Mrs. Goshen. This is Mr. Skimp. Well, yes, I just wanted to explain to you that Lum is in no way responsible for Abner's strange conduct.
Yeah, tell her it was all your idea, Squire.
Well, Lum has tried to help Abner every way he can, but it just seems as though Abner is beyond help. Oh, yes, he's turned out to be nothing but an irresponsible, indolent, spineless renegade. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Squire, don't say that about him. I don't like the noise it makes.
Yes, Mom, I suppose that his present separation from Elizabeth has had something to do with it. Well, I doubt if even she could do anything with him now. He's too far gone, I'm afraid.
Get off of that phone now. I don't like that.
Yes, well, I hope so too, Miss Goshen. Much obliged for calling. Goodbye.
Granny Squire, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for saying such awful things about Abner.
Well, Lum, that's the kind of talk we want to have going around town. That'll make Elizabeth sit up and take notice like nothing else in the world.
Well, maybe so, but you stood there and ruined everything by telling Miss Goshen that even Elizabeth couldn't do nothing to Abner now. That's the whole idea that we're trying to do.
Yes, I know, Lum. But if you knew the female mind as I do, Lum, why... you'd know that that's the best way to get a woman to do something, is to tell her that she can't do it.
It is.
Oh, yes, Lum. If you ever get married, why, you will soon discover that a woman possesses a quality that can only be described as, mule-headed, Lum.
Well, I just hope you know what you're doing, Squire, because this is a terrible thing to make poor little Abner go through.
Well, I'll admit that, Lum, but the way I look at it is this now. Abner has everything to gain by this and nothing to lose.
Well, I reckon when you look at it that way... Wait, there's the phone again. If that's somebody else complaining about Abner, I'm going to put a stop to all this.
Well, don't do anything rash now, Lum. Don't do anything rash.
Hello, jot 'em down, store and library. Who? No, Abner ain't here. I don't know where he's at. Well, who is this? The jailhouse? Oh, my goodness. Well, what's he wanted for? Hello? 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 They hung up.
What do they want Abner for, Lum?
I don't know. I couldn't find out.
Was that the constable, Uncle Henry Lunsford?
Well, never sounded exactly like him. Must have been, though. But whoever it was, that's the last straw right there, Squire. Granny's, we've got to call this whole thing off.
Well, now, wait now, Lum.
Bad enough having Abner run around town acting like he's just a bum, but when they start arresting him for it and throwing him in jail, that's just going too far.
Well, I'll admit that's a little drastic, Lum. Of course, now, it might help our cause, though, if Abner should get thrown in jail.
I don't care. I ain't going to let that happen to my friend and partner. This thing's getting clean out of hand, Squire. Far as I'm concerned, we're all through with it right now.
Wait now, tut now, Lum. Let's not be too hasty.
Or to listen to you in the first place.
Well, you'll find it'll work out all right, Lum.
Me and Abner's been partners for too long a time for me to stand by and let something like this happen to him. I'm going right down there to the jailhouse and have a talk with that Uncle Henry. I'm going to explain the whole thing to him. I'll tell Uncle Henry.
Wait a minute, wait just a minute. There comes Abner across the street.
Oh.
Yeah, now let's wait and hear his side of it here, and it might be just a misunderstanding, you can't tell.
Well, he more than likely don't even know nothing about it. And I don't believe I've got enough nerve to break the news to him, that the law is after him and all. Granny, look at that poor little feller coming up out there. Ragged clothes, run-over shoes.
Yes, he certainly has got the clothes all right. I don't know where in the world he ever found clothes as far gone as those are. What's that he's got over his shoulder there, Lum?
Granny, I don't know. Looks like a bundle of something tied up in a bandana or handkerchief.
Yes.
Got it hanging on the end of a stick, thrown over his shoulder.
I do know. Well, he's certainly playing his part well. I'll say that for him. He looks like a tramp if I ever saw one.
Poor little feller. He ain't hardly even stand to think about it. All the humiliations he's going through. You better let me be the one to tell him about the jailhouse business. I'll break the news to him gentle.
No, all right, Lum. If that's the way you prefer it, that's all right with me.
Come on in here, Abner, old boy.
Yeah, howdy, Lum. Howdy, Squire, old kid.
Abner, old boy, I got something to tell you, but maybe you better sit down first.
Yeah, sure, I'll sit down. I'm getting pretty good at that, you know. I believe I'm finally going to catch up on my setting if I do this long enough.
Before I go any further, Abner, I want you to know that no matter what happens to you, I'm going to stand by you.
Well, good. Hooray for you. Say, you fellas want a sandwich?
A sandwich?
Yeah, I got some tied up in this bandana handkerchief here if you want one.
Where in the world did you get them?
Huh?
You ain't been going around asking for handouts, have you?
Why, no. I got these sitting down there at Plank Foster's filling station. A little Boy Scout give them to me.
A Boy Scout?
Yeah, a car drove up there to get some gasoline, and this little Boy Scout was sitting in the back seat with his mama eating her lunch there, and they just kept staring at me. Finally, the kid got out of the car there and handed me a stack of sandwiches. Then he made a little check mark on the card and got back in.
Oh, my goodness. What he's more than likely doing was his good deed for the day.
Well, they was good sandwiches, I know that. I ate one of them and then give Frank one. I still got a couple left here, Lum.
I don't want any.
Squire?
No, thank you, Abner. No.
Well, they're pretty good. Frank said they was geese livers.
Abner, I got some good news for you. Starting right now, you don't have to go through no more of these humilifying experiences.
Huh?
I've decided that we're all done with this idea of having you be a bum.
Done with it?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, wait now, Lum.
It's all right, Abner. Now, don't worry. We'll study up some other idea to get Elizabeth to take you back. You can stop being a bum right now.
I don't want to stop.
Huh?
I've never enjoyed myself so much in all my life. I don't know why I never taken this up years ago.
Abner, you don't know what you're saying.
I do done it. This is a way to live, Lum. No work, no worries, no cares. Just do whatever you want to.
Yeah, but you don't know what it's leading to, Abner. You're wanted down at the jailhouse.
Jailhouse?
Yes, sir. They not 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that must be Willie the Boodler.
Willie the boodler.
You know that tramp that lives down there at the jail most of the time. Me and him are good pals now.
Oh, for pity's sake.
Oh, say, that reminds me. I'm supposed to borrow some stuff here out of the store, too, Lum. If you'll turn your head and look the other way for a minute.
Borrow some stuff?
Yeah, I want to get some canned meat and canned tomatoes and some onions and potatoes. If Uncle Henry Lunsford will let Willie out this afternoon, why, me and him are going down by the river and cook up a mulligan stew. Doggies, this is a life, you know. This is it.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Squire Skimp's plan to have Abner pose as a worthless, ambitionless renegade and thus provoke Elizabeth into taking him back to reform him seems to be making quite an impression on the townsfolk and Abner. In fact, Abner appears to be enjoying it a good deal. As we look in on the little community today, expressing his concern over the plan to Squire.
Yeah, Squire, I'll admit that he's working all right. Everybody's sure talking about Abner, but I tell you, I'm worried.
Worried?
Yeah, I'm just afraid Abner's overdoing it.
Oh.
I believe he's taking this hobo stuff too serious. Feared it's gone to his head.
I don't think there's any danger of that, Lum.
Now, you ought to see Abner. He looks raggedier every day. And he won't do a lick of work. He won't do nothing.
Well, that's all part of the plan, Lum.
I know it, but the trouble is he's enjoying it. I'm feared he'll just want to go on living that way the rest of his life.
No, Lum, not Abner. He's too old to change his way of life now. The old saying, you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, Lum.
Well, maybe not, but I'm worried about Abner, I know that.
Well, if Abner does think that he enjoys being a tramp, Lum, it's merely a temporary situation which is bound to wear off in a day or so. No, man that's worked hard all his life like Abner will never be satisfied to live any other way, Lum.
Well, I just hope you're right.
As a matter of fact, I'd wager anything that Abner's tired of it already. He's too much of a family man to ever become a nomad, Lum.
Oh, wait a minute, that's our ring, Squire.
Oh.
I hope this will be Elizabeth calling up to ask Abner to come back home.
Well, I think it's still a little too soon for that, Lum.
Excuse me a minute.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hello, John, I'm down store and library, Lum Edgerton. Oh, yes, Miss Foster. Friday night, huh? Why, no, not a thing. It is? Well, I'll swan to goodness. I thought Tom's birthday was long about June. Why, sure, I'd be glad to come. Bring who? Oh, why, yeah, I'd be willing to bring her if it'd help out. Oh, no, it won't be no trouble. Ma? Oh, yes, Mom. Yeah, I'll call her. Yes, Mom. Well, thank you very much, Miss Foster. All right, goodbye.
Well, Miss Foster give a birthday party for Tom, huh?
Yeah, Friday night.
Well, it's nice that you're going to get to take Miss Platt to the party, Lum.
Miss Platt? How'd you know I was going to take her?
That's not very hard to tell. I could tell by the tone of your voice on the telephone there.
You could, huh?
Oh, yes. Yes, love is a wonderful thing, Lum.
Love? I ain't in love with her.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, I ain't.
You better get on the phone there and call her up, Lum. You don't want to let an opportunity like this slip through your fingers, you know.
Well, she's more likely busy teaching right now. I hate to interrupt her.
Well, I don't think she'd mind being interrupted for that, Lum. Sitting over there day after day teaching history and geography can get a little dull, I imagine. Wait a minute. That was your ring, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was.
It might be Miss Platt calling you right now, Lum.
Granny, you reckon it is?
Well, it could be. It's possible.
Squire, will you answer it for me?
Well, Lum, I don't
Go
believe...
on, Squire, please. I ain't studied up nothing to say to her yet.
Well, all right. It seems a little silly, though.
Please, where's my comb?
Hello. This is the John 'em Down store. No, this is M.K. Skimp. Abner's not here.
What's she calling Abner for?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Peabody. I thought I recognized your voice.
Miss Peabody?
Just a minute. He's here. By George, Lum, it looks like our plan has succeeded a lot sooner than I anticipated.
Is that actual Elizabeth calling?
Yes, indeed it is. This is certainly good news, too.
Granny, let me get at that phone.
Yeah, be careful how you handle this now.
I know just what to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Elizabeth? Yeah, this is Lum. No. No, honest, Abner ain't here. Fact is, he ain't been here all day. Well, to be honest, Elizabeth, he don't do a lick of work around here no more.
That's right, Lum. Lay it on heavy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure, he still owns his half interest here.
Tell her he's liable to lose it, though, if someone doesn't reform him.
Mom? Oh, yes, Mom. Yeah, I'll more than likely see him sometime today. Tell him what? Well, sure, I'll tell him to come home.
Well, by George.
How's that? Well, wait, though, Elizabeth. That ain't why Abner's doing this. Well, wait. You got the wrong idea.
Hey, don't argue with her, Lum. She wants him to come home. That's enough.
But he ain't trying to humilify you.
Let it go. Don't spoil everything, Lum.
All right, I'll tell him when I see him, Elizabeth. But I still say you've got the wrong idea.
Be careful, Lum.
Yeah, all right, Elizabeth. Yes, Mom. Goodbye.
So she wants him to come home.
She insists on it.
Well, that's fine. It's wonderful news. Wonderful news, Lum.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid it just means more trouble in the home for Abner.
More trouble in the home?
Yeah. She ain't feeling sympathetical about Abner like you said she would. She's just downright mad at him.
Oh, I see. Oh.
She don't want to reform him like she's supposed to with this plan of yours. She just wants to get him off in the streets so he'll quit humilifying her.
Well, that isn't quite the reaction I'd hoped for.
No. Elizabeth said Abner's just making an idiot out of himself, and it's a reflect on her, she says. She swears that he's just doing it on a purpose to humilify her.
Well, there's the workings of the female mind again, Lum. You absolutely cannot depend on how a woman will react. Never do the right thing.
Now, she ain't happy about this at all.
No, but at least, Lum, you must admit that we've accomplished our purpose in some measure. She has asked Abner to come back home, and that's what we wanted her to do.
Well, yeah, I reckon you're right. And I know Abner'll be tickled to death to hear it, too.
Oh, certainly. And once he does get back home, why, he and Elizabeth will be able to patch up their differences in no time at all, I'm sure. The important thing is to get them back together again.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Squire. If we just get them two together again, I believe they'll be so happy from now on they won't ever have no more...
Hallelujah, I'm a bomb.
Oh,
Hallelujah,
hello, Abner.
again.
Never seen you coming up out there.
Well.
Sure, man, half to death busting in the door there.
Oh, excuse me. Howdy, Squire. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good, Abner, pretty good.
Hi, Granny said, we got some news for you, Abner.
News?
Yes, sir. You're going to be tickled to death when you hear this.
Well.
Abner, everything's worked out dandy. Elizabeth called you.
She did?
Yes, sir. And you know what? She wants you to come home.
Oh.
Well, for goodness sakes, is that all you're going to say? Just, oh? Ain't you happy?
Well.
Sure. You don't act like it.
Well, I'm happy, I think. When did she say for me to come home?
Right today, quick as you can.
Today, huh? I reckon it'd be all right if I'd wait till tomorrow or so.
What in the world do you want to wait for? For a little over a week now, you've been studying up ways to get Elizabeth to take you back again. And now when your big opportunity comes, you act this way.
Yeah, well, I sort of had a couple other plans in mind.
Plans?
Yeah, me and Willie, you know, Willie the boodler, me and Willie were sort of aiming on grabbing a rattler and going somewhere.
Grabbing a rattler?
Yeah, might head for Florida. Willie says that's a good place to winter.
Well, now, wait. I don't want you picking up no rattlers. Them things are poisonous.
I think he means a train, Lum. They're referred to sometimes as rattlers in the vernacular of the wanderlust.
Yeah, sure. I just come in here to get my steam-heated Benny, 'cause it gets cold riding them rods.
To get your what?
Steam-heated Benny. My winter overcoat. Don't you know nothing? Doggy, you talk a gazoony, Lum.
A gazoony?
You know, a little kid tramp. Me and Willie seen one yesterday toting a lump down to the jungle. He claimed he wasn't a mush faker, but Willie said he'd seen him working a stem, putting a ding on the yokels around here.
What in the world are you talking about, Abner? Are you feeling all right?
Why, sure, I never felt better in my life. Well, I better lamb. Willie says we got to get out to the tracks 'cause there's a stack of rust and a drag due in about an hour, and we might squirrel a car and take a hop somewhere.
Wait a minute, Abner. What about Elizabeth?
Well, I'll call her quick as I get a chance. So long.
Well, I'll be dead to blame. Did you hear that, Squire?
I certainly did, Lum.
I told you this was going to his head. It's affecting his mind. We better get a hold of Doc Miller.
No, now, Lum, I wouldn't do that. This is nothing at all. Abner has evidently just picked up some hobo lingo from this Willie the Boodler character. It'll wear off soon.
Well, I'm worried, though. This whole mix-up twixt him and Elizabeth's made a nervous wretch out of him. And I know something I'm going to do right now.
Now, Lum, don't call Doc Miller. That isn't necessary. There's nothing wrong with Abner. He's merely fascinated by this new hobo existence. It's just temporary. By tomorrow, he will have forgotten all about it.
Well, I don't know. You know, Abner. Wait a minute. Hello, is this Miss Foster?
Mrs. Foster?
Well, this is Lum again. I just recollected I'm all tied up next Friday and can't make the party after all. Oh, business. Yes, Mom. Well, I am too, but much obliged for asking me anyways. Yes, Mom. Goodbye.
Now, Lum, what did you do a silly thing like that for?
Well, I'll tell you, Squire. If I start taking Miss Emmeline Platt different places, she'll start liking me. And with my personality, sooner or later, she'll want me to marry me. Just take a look at Abner and see what happens to married people. No, sir, I just ain't taking no chance.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. As a result of the plan to have Abner pose as a tramp and thus encourage his wife to take him back again, the whole marital mix-up in the Peabody family has reversed itself. Now Elizabeth wants Abner to come back, and Abner prefers to continue his nomadic life. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store explaining this new turn of events to Grandpappy Spears. Listen.
You mean Elizabeth's trying to get Abner to come home and now he don't want to go? That's exactly it. Everything's changed clean around. Just the opposite of the way it was before. Well, I'll be a monkey's pigeon-toed uncle. That's the spabbing-leggedest thing I ever heard of. Oh, I tell you, this has got to work serious, Grandpap. Abner won't do no work. Goes around in them awfulest ragged-looking clothes you ever seen. Yeah, I know. I seen him. He looks terrible, all right. And the worst part of it is he's running around with that Willie the Boodler, that tramp that lives down there at the jailhouse half the time. Yeah, I know Willie. But he ain't such a bad feller, Lum, that Willie the Boodler. Sort of interesting to talk to. Yeah, but he's sure ruining Abner. Putting a lot of crazy ideas in his head. And on top of that, Abner's picked up a lot of hobo talk from Willie, and you can't hardly understand what he says no more. Then he goes around here calling a overcoat a steam-heated Benny and his lunch a lump, and I don't know what all. Yeah, but I heard Willie do some pretty fancy talking. Philosophy's junk. He gives out some mighty good advice. No, I doubt that. Excuse me, Grandpap. I believe that's our ring. Yeah, go right ahead, Lum. Hello. Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum Edwards talking. Oh, howdy, Elizabeth. No, he ain't been in since you called a while ago, Elizabeth. Well, I told him to call when I seen him yesterday. I just don't know what's come over that man. Oh, no, I don't think that's it. I'm sure he still loves you. Well, no, it ain't all your fault, Elizabeth. Hardly. Well, now, don't start puddling up there. Everything's going to work out all right. Why, sure it will. Well, I've done talked to him, but I'll talk to him some more if it'll do any good. Now, you just stop worrying, Elizabeth, because everything's going to be all right. Yes, Mom. All right, Elizabeth. No, not at all. Goodbye. Grannies, I feel downright sorrowful for that poor little woman. Trouble in the home, huh? Nothing else. Here she's come right out and admitted that the whole mix-up was all her fault, but still it don't do no good. Jiminy, if I was her... Wait a minute. Here comes that little varmint up out there right now. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for treating that poor little woman that way. That little knock-kneed varmint ought to jump on you.
I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again.
Hi, Granny Sanders, come in here. I want to talk to you. What happened to the door there?
I knocked the bell down. I'm glad of it. Nothing worries me. Howdy, Grandpap. How old you yokels today?
Don't start that crazy talk, Abner. You just sit down there, because I've got some serious things I want to say to you.
Good. I'd love to hear 'em. I've got plenty of time. That's one nice thing about this. I've always got time now to sit down and hear what somebody's got to say. You know, I'm learning a lot these days, Lum.
Well, you're going to learn a lot more right now.
Good. Say, Grandpap, how about a game of checkers?
I ain't got time right now, Abner. I got to stop by the lumberyard and pick up a bundle of shingles.
Shingles?
Yeah, Charity says I got to get that leak in the roof fixed.
Oh.
Fact is, I better get going right now, or I'll get a good jawing when I get home. I'll see you fellers later.
Yeah, all right, kid.
Yeah, so long, Grandpap. Better fix
Good.
that bell back on the door first chance we get.
You hear what that Grandpap said? Got to get home and fix a leak in the roof.
Well, what's wrong with that? If you don't get at them things right away, they get worse and worse, and then it takes a lot of money to fix them. Like that bell on the door, we got to get that thing fixed.
Money.
Got to do it.
That's all you fellers think about. Money and houses. If Grandpap didn't have that house in the first place, he wouldn't have to worry about fixing no leak.
Well, a feller's got to have a house to live in.
Oh, I don't know. Take a look at me. I'm getting along without one. I'm just happy as a lark. Just as happy as a lark.
Abner, you oughtn't to talk that way.
Why not? What's wrong with being happy? Tell you, Lum, I'm just now learning how to live.
Nah, it's just plain silly talking, you know it.
No, it ain't no such a thing. Look at now, he'd love to be playing checkers, but can he do it? No. Why not? Because he's a prisoner of civilization, that's why.
Wait a minute. Did you get that from Willie the Boodler?
I might have, I don't know. But look at me. I can play checkers any old time I want to. I don't have to ask nobody. I don't have to quit playing to do something else, 'cause I ain't got nothing else to do.
Abner, that's disgusting.
No worries, no cares. Go anywhere I want to, do anything I want to do. I'm a knight of the road, that's me.
Well, if you want my opinions on it, you're just a lazy, no-good bum. That's what you are.
You bet your life I am. I doggies, that's a thing to be, too. Lum, you ought to take this up.
Me?
Yes, sir. Do you a heap of good. Learn you how to live.
I wouldn't do no such a thing. I'm a respected man, an upright citizen, well thought of in the community.
Yeah, but are you happy?
Huh?
Are you carefree? Are you at one with the world?
At one with the world?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, anyway?
Well, Willie says that. I know it means something. I ain't sure just what, but are you it or ain't you?
Abner, this is all such disgusting talk. I ain't going to discuss it with you no further.
Where do you sleep at night?
Sleep at home, natural, in the bedroom, on a good bed.
Uh-huh. When you look around you and up above you, what do you see?
Well, I see the walls and the ceiling, natural. Of course, I can't see nothing when the lights is off.
Walls and ceilings, huh? 4 walls. 4 prison walls. Every morning, them same 4 walls. Every night, the same ceiling.
What are you driving at, anyway?
Well, take me, for instance. I ain't cooped up in no little old prison. The whole world's my home. I got trees for my walls. The grass is my bed. I got the ever-changing starlighted sky for my ceiling.
Oh, my goodness. You heard that.
I shiver up at night with a blanket of moonbeams.
Grannies, you know what's going to happen to you. You're going to catch the pneumonia sleep out like that.
Us knights of the road don't know what it means to be sick.
You don't, huh?
No, shoot.
Yeah, I can see right now that you don't.
Doggies, it's
Granny, what a
dusty in here.
sneeze.
Yeah, it shows right there I ain't used to being cooped up in these little old bird cages.
Now, just a minute, Abner. Don't you go calling the Jot 'em Down store a bird cage. Made a good living for the both of us for a long time now.
Well, you might call it a good living. I can see now, though, it was all a mistake for me, Lum. Leastways for a knight of the road like me it was.
Knight of the road, huh?
That's me, Ben'll Stiff Abner, old Jungle Joe.
Oh, me.
I better be getting back to Jungle, too. I gotta lift a lump Summers and join old Willie in the mulligan.
Well, just a minute, Bendel Stiff. Before you go traipsing off, there's a few things I want to take up with you.
Go right ahead, boy.
One of them's about your woman. Elizabeth's called here I don't know how many times for you. She's begging you to come home now.
Oh, well, I'll call her. Quick as I get time.
Well, you better do it right away. And then there's some papers here I want you to go over with me. Our taxes due again. And there's some OP&A forms to fill out. We've got to start working on our income tax, too.
Yeah, well, you take care of them things, Lum.
Well, I need your help on them, though. These things is awful complicated. Besides, I've got to have your signature on them.
Lum, I ain't interested in none of that kind of junk no more than man-made laws and taxes.
Well, you have to be interested in it, or whether you want to be or not. Don't forget you're a half owner of this store.
Oh. Well, it's gonna cause me all that bother. Why, you can just have my half the store. Don't believe I want it no more.
You don't?
No, sir. See, Lum, owning stuff just causes you a lot of trouble. The less you got, the less worries you have. More time you have to enjoy yourself. Get out and live for a change.
Yeah, but, Granny, you just can't walk out and leave this way.
Why can't you? Who says you can't?
I don't know, but...
Why be a slave to civilization? Be the master of your own life. Get shut of your worries and cares. You know the only problem I've got right now, Lum.
You mean you've just got one problem?
Yes, sir, one. And this is it. I can't decide whether I want to go to California or Florida for the rest of the winter.
Well, now, wait a minute, Abner. You know you can't actually go to neither one of them places.
Who says I can't?
Nobody, I reckon, but you ain't got enough money for one thing.
The way me and Willie travels, we don't need no money. Just squirrel hop a drag or ride the rods and we'll be there.
Yeah, but how about food? You're going to starve if you don't eat.
No, well, we'll eat, don't worry. Our poke gets low, well, we can work a little here and there. Just get enough in our strides to get a bite at a grab stand. And if we don't want to do that, we can just put the ding on the gilly for a lump.
You can do what now?
Well, we'll eat. Don't worry about that. And every meal we'll eat in some different town, too. Never the same place twice. Travel all over the world. Follow the birds, north in the summer, south in the winter.
And it don't cost you nothing, huh?
That's a word that we don't even use on that cost.
And you don't have to figure no income tax, neither.
As long as you ain't got no income, how can you?
Well, Abner, I've still got to have a talk with you about Elizabeth, but before I do, I want to make a phone call.
Sure, go right ahead. I've got plenty of time. I ain't in no hurry no more, Lum. Don't need to go nowhere till I get good and ready. If I miss one stack of rust, there'll always be another along.
What's a stack of rust?
Well, a railroad engine. A drag's one of them long, slow freight trains.
Wait a minute. Hello, is that you, Squire? This is Lum.
Lum's awful ignorant for his age.
Oh, just tolerably. Say, Squire, are you still interested in buying the Jot 'em Down store?
I just can't talk to him no more.
Well, I ain't sure just yet, Squire, but chances are I might take my steam-heated Benny and squirrel hop a stack of rust and a drag for Florida.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know this, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Abner apparently still prefers his newly adopted knowing the pleas of his wife Elizabeth to return home. As a matter of fact, he nearly talked Lum into joining him. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot-'em-Down store and library, and Abner is just entering. Listen.
Come in. Well, for goodness sakes, if it ain't Bindle Stiff Abner, old Jungle Joe.
Howdy, Long.
I thought you and Willie the Boodler'd be on your way to Florida by this time.
Well, I ain't going, I don't think.
Well, what in the world's the matter with you? Sound like you just lost your best friend.
I do, huh?
Yeah. I thought you hobos was always happy and carefree. No worries or nothing. Sleep out in the open with the ever-changing sky for your ceiling.
Lum, cut it out now.
With the green trees for your walls and the grass for your bed.
Lum, I wish you'd stop talking that way.
Well, I don't know. I thought you had a pretty good idea there after all. I know you might not have talked me into it yesterday. Just lucky for me that Squire Skimp never taken me up on that deal when I wanted to sell him the store and go to Florida with you. Fact is, I'd still like to go.
Well, you'll have to go by yourself, you do, 'cause I don't believe I'm going.
What's the trouble? How come you changed your mind?
I feel awful.
Awful?
I just ain't no good, that's all there to it. Just no dad blame good.
Well, now, Abner, you ain't as bad as all that.
Yes,
Hardly.
I am, too. Here I was gonna rush off to Florida and leave Elizabeth here without even saying goodbye to her or nothing. I'm just a varmint.
Well, I'm glad to hear you final talking this way. Well, what changed your mind?
Well, I got a hearing from little Pearl this morning.
Oh, from Pearl. Well, for goodness sakes, how is she?
Oh, she's fine.
Well, where's she at now? I know the last time you heard from her, she'd been sent overseas, but you never knowed whereabouts she'd went.
She's in France now.
In France?
Yeah, it says right there on top of her letter, says somewheres in France.
Well, I'll swan to goodness. That don't hardly seem possible.
No.
Little Pearl, a growed-up nurse clean over in France.
Bless her heart. Bless her little heart.
Well, what all does she have to say, anyway?
Oh, different stuff. Says she's hurt something wonderful. They could use a lot more nurses, she said.
Well, I ain't surprised the way the war's going now. The closer you get to winning, the tougher it gets, seems like.
Yeah.
What else does she say?
Well, down at the bottom there, she says that I hope you and Mama are getting along fine.
Oh.
Doggies, I'm glad she ain't here to see what idiots her Mama and Papa's been making out of themselves.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, exactly.
Well, it's the truth, Lum. There little Pearl is over there working in the hospitals, helping wounded soldiers, and here me and Elizabeth are wasting our time having this silly squabble, this trouble in the home.
Well, why don't you end it right now, Abner? Why don't you call up Elizabeth? Tell her exactly how you feel.
I'd love to do that the worst way, Lum.
Well, good.
But I just can't bring myself to do it.
Why not?
Well, I'm just ashamed of myself. I just can't bring myself to face Elizabeth or talk to her over the phone or nothing.
Oh, well, now, that's just plain silly, Abner.
I know it is, but I just can't help it, Lum. I just can't bring myself to call her. She ain't tried to call me today, has she?
No, I think she feels just about the same way you do.
Oh.
She's sort of ashamed of herself, too. Claims the whole thing's her fault. So I know you just get on the phone. Well, for pity's sakes. Look at Cedric rushing in there.
For the land's sakes. Hey, take it easy, Cedric. You're going to knock something over there.
Well, say, do you know who's in town? Major Brooks.
Major Brooks? I don't know no Major.
Oh, yes, you do. He's Robert Brooks, Bob Brooks. He's a friend of the Macmillan boys.
Wait a minute. You don't mean Robert Brooks from Little Rock? The feller that was Ernest Macmillan's classmate over there at the University of Arkansas.
Yes, Mom, that's him.
Well, I do know. Is he actually in town,
Yes,
Cedric?
yes, Mom, he's on his way home to see his family.
Oh.
He just got back from the war, and you ought to see the medals that feller's got.
Well, got a lot of medals, huh?
Oh, yes, Mom. I know them all by heart, too.
Well.
He's got the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Air Medal with 4 silver clusters on it and 2 presidential citations.
For the land's sake.
And he shot down 4.5 ME-109s, confirmed.
Confirmed. What does that mean?
That means it's official, I think.
Oh.
Yes, Mom. And besides that, he shot 190 wolves.
190 wolves? Oh, me, are we fighting wolves now, too?
Oh, wait a minute. Cedric must have that wrong. I think what he means is a folk wolf 190.
Oh.
It's kind of a German airplane. And 190 ain't how many, it's just part of the name of the airplane.
Oh, yes, Mama. I believe it was just 2 of them. And you know what else he done?
Huh?
He collided with a German airplane right up in the air.
You mean them 2 airplanes run into one another whilst they's flying around?
He done it, yes, Mom.
Hmm.
It was over Frankfurt, Germany, I believe. And it clipped off 5 feet off in one wing of Robert's airplane.
Oh, my goodness.
But he said he got back to his home base somehow and crash landed.
Doggers, he must have had a rabbit's foot with him.
Oh, he's done a lot of things. And he destroyed 2.5 airplanes on that mission, too.
Doggers, that boy is sure a gore. A goer.
I'm going out and find him and look at them medals some more.
Yeah.
I'll see you fellers later.
Yeah, all right, Cedric. Well, Lord me.
My grannies, I can't hardly believe it.
No.
Robert being a major now.
No, sir.
I recollect the last time I seen him was, must have been 3 years ago. Over there at Little Rock, dropped into the bank there and had a talk with Robert.
That's right. He did work in the bank, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Now here he is, a big officer with a whole batch of medals and decorations all over him.
I don't as long I believe I'll go with Cedric and try to find Robert. I'd love to see him.
Well, wait a minute before you go, Abner. I think you ought to call Elizabeth. You ought to do it right this minute, too.
Well, Lum, I'd love to the worst way, but I just wouldn't know what to say. I just wouldn't know how to start out even.
Oh, well, you think of something. Once you get her on the phone and hear her voice again, Wait a minute. Look who Grandpappy Spears is bringing in here.
Who, Elizabeth?
No, it must be Robert. Just look at that uniform.
Oh.
Granny, don't he look handsome?
Oh, Lord, I bound you his mama's just going to be tickled to death to see him.
Howdy. Hey, look who I got here,
Yes,
fellas.
sir, I doggies come in here, Robert, old boy. Let me shake your hand.
Granny's, if you ain't a sight for sore eyes, how are you anyways, Robert?
Oh, just swell, Lum. How are you fellas?
Oh, we're fine, Robert, just fine.
Hey, wait a minute. Call him Major. Can't you see he's a major now?
Oh.
See that there leaf on his shoulder?
Yeah. How does it feel to be a major, Robert? Major?
Oh, well, I don't know, Abner.
Going back home for a few days, huh, Robert?
Yeah, boy, and am I looking forward to it.
I'll bet you are.
Well, when did you get back from overseas?
Just about a month and a half ago, and since I've been in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, California?
Yes, at the Army Air Force Redistribution Station. They sure treat us well there, too.
Well, good for them.
Tomorrow's the first anniversary of the place.
Yeah, well, Robert...
First anniversary. Been in business a year, huh?
Right.
Just what is a redistribution center?
It's a rest camp for pilots returning from all theaters of war. It's a swell place for a rest while waiting for assignment to a new duty.
Well, that's fine if they got a place like that.
Yeah. Whereabouts overseas was you at, Robert, or ain't you supposed to tell that?
Oh, Lum, that doesn't matter now. I was stationed in Italy, England, and France.
Italy, England, and France.
France? I doggies, how's little Pearl?
What'd you say, Abner?
Well, if you was in France, you must have saw little Pearl. That's my daughter. That's where she's at. Oh, was she feeling all right?
Well, I'm afraid I can't say. You see, Abner, France is a big place.
Yeah, well, did she tell you any messages to send home to me?
Abner, Robert never seen Pearl over there, he said.
He must have, Lum. She's in France. It says so right there at the top of her letter. F-R-A-N-C-E, France.
F-R-A-N-C-E. Oh, yeah, that's right.
How'd she look, Robert? Was she fat or skinny?
Well, it didn't say her, Abner.
Well, she's the one in the nurse's uniform. Fact is, that's what she is, a nurse.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I can tell you this about her. She's doing a great job.
That's the one. That's Pearl, all right.
By George, I certainly take my hat off to those girls. You have no idea how much they mean to the wounded fellows over there.
Good for Pearl.
As a matter of fact, the Army could use a whole lot more nurses, too, especially in the Army hospitals here at home.
Grannies, they do need nurses, don't they?
Do you know they're returning over 50,000 wounded a month, and they only have 9,000 nurses to care for them?
There's a big shortage of them.
I'll say. You see, there's a lot of boys coming home that weren't as lucky as I am. They're going to need a lot of care and attention.
I reckon that ain't no dream.
Well, Robert, what was little Pearl wearing that there wristwatch we sent her when you seen her, the one with the Mickey Mouse picture?
Abner, for goodness sakes, how many times do we have to tell you
I
that
don't get,
Robert
wait a minute, I got either. Let me get to that telephone.
Now, just a second. What are you up to there, Abner?
I don't know what's the matter. Me standing around here not thinking of this before. Robert, you'll be in town this evening, won't you?
Yeah, Abner, I'll be here about 9 o'clock.
Well, good. Wait a minute. Hello, Elizabeth? This is your man, Abner. What are you having for supper tonight? Huh? Well, good. I'll slap on an extra plate 'cause I'm bringing home a feller's been knob-hobbing around with little Pearl over there in France. Yeah, Robert Brooks from Little Rock. He's a major now. Yeah, well, we'll see you tonight. Goodbye.
Granny's Abner, do you realize what you just done there?
Sure, I just invited Robert here to come. Well, I'll be dead blamed. I'll talk to Elizabeth.
Yeah, and everything's patched up now.
Well, Robert, let me shake your hand again. You've ended my trouble in the home.